now they're moving on to, is transgenderism an illness?
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
I think, by definition, what do they call it? Gender dysphoria. I mean, by definition, it is. And people say, well, the remedy to gender dysphoria is the so-called gender transition. I just don't think that such a thing can be achieved. I think you're born what you are. And people can make modifications. They change the way they dress. They modify their body with surgeries or hormones. It just makes that person what they were with the modifications. If they were a man, now you're a man with long hair. You were a woman, now you're a woman with short hair and a mustache. And that's why almost all the time you can clock them. And there are some that are pretty good at hiding it. There's some that are pretty deceptive. But for the most part, the way we find it funny is because you see like a 6'5" guy who's 400 pounds grabbing a guy by the collar of his jacket and saying, "You do not film me." If you saw that TikTok, it's like, okay, like, that's not very ladylike. Like that guy did not become a woman. Obviously, it's a guy in a dress. So I just don't. I think we're born a gender. I think gender is an essential.
Yeah, the girl in the middle is going to go against Nick on everything to get simp bucks. I agree.
Immutable, unchangeable part of who we are. It's a self-deception when people say they've transformed. I don't think that's possible.
Let's start with Isaac. Is transgenderism a
Why are you starting with a guy? I mean, these two girls barely said anything. Okay, I think you should start with actually these three girls. Barely said anything. You might as well start with the three girls that says nothing.
mental illness?
I do think that a lot of people who become transgender, they are grappling with thoughts about the gender that they are and societal expectations. But I feel like that's something that a lot of people go through, like living up to societal expectations. And just because they took an effort to feel comfortable in their own body does not mean they have a mental illness. It's just part of the human condition, wanting to feel good in your own skin. So if you call transgenderism a mental illness, then you would have to call anybody else that decides to change something about themselves to feel better mentally ill. And it's just not productive to call everyone you did.
Well, changing things for you to feel better is maybe a little bit different than changing your supposed, what you're born as. Okay. Let's say this, a man that's changed, even a man, right? I think a man that's going to such an extreme, cutting off his, his dick, okay, and trying to be a woman, that's an extreme, okay. Changing yourself, let's go exercising because you're fat. It's not the same. There are extremes.
We would mentally ill.
Burnout, go ahead, and then I want to hear from Heaven.
So I believe that obviously this is an individual choice, and the only person that should be speaking on it is the person who feels like they are who they are, and if they want to transition, that is their decision. But I do have experiences with friends who have gone through that, and they said that,
It's crazy. Just today, just I'm a little bit gobsmacked, because my friend was an extreme religious person. Okay, at one point he was an extremely religious person, and now I thought it was weird that I found out that, I mean, he's not that religious anymore. So but it was still weird that I found out that my friend has a trans friend, and I was like, wow, I'm quite surprised. Now, I'm not saying, bad or not. I'm just saying that that's quite surprising because, again, I've always known this man to be very religious. So it's such a surprising thing. And it's funny that when I saw this trans person, I knew it was a man. It's like, this is a thing where, in my honest opinion, very few, I think it's very few, like maybe 1%, maybe 0.1% can actually pass as a woman. Because I think so many people, because of makeup, because of like lighting, because of a filter, it helps you pass. But when you actually look at people in reality, you can see the difference. So I have yet to see anyone in reality to actually pass as a, pass as whatever gender they're picking now.
they don't feel any different after they feel like they just cut their genitals off for no reason or added genitals for a reason. And it really just has to do with society, because you can be whatever gender you want as long as you think about it. Like, you don't actually have to have the parts. If you want to be a dude, go be a dude. Absolutely not.
You guys are basically like
Yes.
changing the subject.
Gender and race
Race
is not
and
interchangeable.
your physical self are non-human constructs. Gender is. You can't become black because black is a physical trait that is inherent to you, not gender.
Gender's physical, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Gender's
Sex is
biological.
physical, but gender is not.
Wait, okay, so I have a question. And I'm generally just asking. So the physical part of gender is a penis and a vagina, correct?
No,
Yes.
that's sex.
No, actually, no. It's much more complicated and
There's
complex than that.
secondary sex characteristics. Like when you see a person on the street, you're not seeing their genitals, but you're seeing things that we associate with one gender expression or the other, like breasts and hair, and all those things are the ways that we identify people because we're not seeing people's genitals.
Okay, I have a question. Wait, Isaac, you did just say yes when I asked that. Were you saying yes? Did you agree with me?
No, I was basically trying to say that's more complex than that. Like genitals are, you don't see people's genitals, just like Jasmine said. People identify like in passing. You see a woman, you see a man, but that's society speaking. That's not something that is physical. A woman is a very complex thing. A man is a very complex thing. Gender is different than sex. Now, somebody could be born a sex that is physical, but gender itself, he, she, they, whatever, that is a human construct that has no basis with biology whatsoever.
No, let Nick go ahead and elaborate off of if you believe in my argument, Nick, that if basically they're saying that they could just switch their gender, then I can become black. If you can, you can go off basically what you want to say, but they're basically just saying it's not a physical. Gender's not physical.
Well, I, some days I feel black. I'm going to put on blackface. I'm going to curl my hair. I'm going to start talking like this. I'm going to start talking like a black person. I'm going to sag my pants and stuff, because it makes me feel comfortable in my body. I woke up, I felt black. And who is to tell me? It's my body. Society can't come and tell me what I'm going to do. Who are you to judge? And, maybe race is biological on some level, but race is also a social construct. I mean, what is black? Black people have brown skin. What is blackness? It's our conception of what blackness is. Who's to say I can't go out and modify my appearance to make myself more comfortable? You'd be okay with that? Halloween, I'm going out as Richard Pryor. Halloween, I'm going out as Barack Obama. I'm going out as Barack Hussein Obama with the birth certificate and everything. Point is, we can create arbitrary categories to separate them from biological reality. We could say, well, no, penis and vagina's sex. Man and woman is gender. You're just creating an arbitrary category. We all know gender and sex are the same thing. Gender is an expression of sex. Male and female are biological categories. They want to introduce this other category. And then when it's indefensible, say, well, it's really just about what makes them comfortable. So are we debating whether people should be able to express themselves? Or are we debating, whether there are men and women? I think everybody knows there's men and women at this point.
If you wanna
Burn
define
up
it
the
that way,
Please, okay. Just one second. My mom was pregnant with me. I could not pop out as a white person or a black person or a Mexican person. That was decided when they are both Asian and they had sex. And
Wait, you're Asian?
I am Asian.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Vietnamese. Yes. And I want to say there are intersex people that exist. There are people that have both.
There's barely any. It's like what, 0.001%?
And I want to say that where was I going?
I think the Asian girl should stop talking. She sounds stupid.
But yeah, that was the main point that I wanted to get off, that you can transracialism. That was from Rachel Dolezal. There's maybe 4 or 5 people that really consider them transracial, and her family went out against her because she did not grow up around that area. She grew up with a white family, normal white family. That was what she was, and she decided that she wanted to be transracial. But that's not really a thing. That's throughout history. All throughout history, there have been trans people that have existed. So that's just a newer thing that people are using now. And same with the being an animal. When my parents had sex and I was conceived, I can't come out as a dog. So that's.
But you came out as a woman, right? You came out as a female woman, just a female. So you can't, by your same argument that you can't just change to be a man.
Wait, but I have a question. So, the, what is the name? The Jazz, the boobs, the person, she said that when we see someone walking down the street, we don't know that they have a penis and balls or they have a vagina. It's a secondary expression. Okay, I'll raise you one. Let's say I get my eyes surgically modified. I get my eyes stone like this, and I'm walking down the street, and let's say I put like some fine black hair, I get like a mustache like this, and I say, oh, hello, and somebody says, that guy's Asian. That's an Asian man. Are you going to say, well, you don't know, my parents are both white. My parents are both white. Race isn't essential. Race, you don't know that I'm Chinese just because my eyes look like this and I have a fine black Fu Manchu mustache and I'm wearing a straw hat. You don't know that. So again, it's like, we all know these. Once you start applying them to other categories, we all realize you actually can't change. Just like you can't change your race, which is essential. You can't change your species, which is essential. You can't change your gender, which is essential. But there's this argument, we're going to create another category. If you feel like a thing, you're the thing. Yeah, that only works if you make the thing a new category. I can stand in the garage. It doesn't make me a car. What if I say car? What is a?
I like that one. You can't stand in the garage. Doesn't make you a car. Yo, I don't know, guys. Watching this is like, this is the thing where I have not really watched Nick Fuentes, so I can't really say that I liked him or disliked him. But it's like, this video, that was funny, and that makes him make me like him a little bit more.
A car is transportation. I could walk down the street and go like this. I'm a car. It's like you're imitating a car, but you're not a car. You're imitating a dog. You're not a dog. You're imitating a black person. Shit, you're not you can imitate a woman. You're not a woman. So it's imitation with word games in the middle.
Can I respond?
Christine, and then burnout. Hold on, Christine, quickly, and then burnout. Go ahead.
Because you said that being gay wasn't a choice, so I wonder how the difference is being trans is a choice, but being gay isn't a choice.
Well, it's a behavior. It's a predisposition to a behavior. So I think some people are predisposed to some things, some people are predisposed to other things, and that's unchangeable.
Burnout, go ahead.
If you feel like you can make something up, why is it that you can make something up and it be true? And if a thought that differs from what you think can't be true, like what makes you think that you're the right one? Like you're saying everything that's so correct in the world when there's live proof that differs.
Well, that's the point of the debate. So we all disagree on the issue, and then we come together, and then we argue back and forth, and then people can determine what's more convincing, and then that's.
You don't have to mansplain what a debate is to me.
Mansplain. Well, you asked me. You said, "Well, but what do people disagree?" It's like
that this is facts. If you know that things are made up, you're saying that gender is made up. If that was the case, then we wouldn't even have man and woman. We would just call each other chromosome X and chromosome Y.
Because human beings love to label shit. God damn you. I mean, human beings love to label. They just love putting names on shit. That's it.
Like,
good point. It's true.
We were debating. Now we're agreeing. What's going on?
Because look, what we call male is the active. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you call male, but it's the active partner that fertilizes the egg with the X and Y chromosome with the penis and balls. What transgender people are saying is, well, no, man is really, there's two levels of man. There's the level of man, which is a discrete reality. And then there's a level of man, which we all imagine. And that's what we call man. And, manness is different from being a man. And it's like, again, you can, again, a woman can imitate what a man is and then call herself a man. And we can say, well, the person that is a man and the person that's imitating a man are both men. But it doesn't change the fact that one is and one is imitating. There is one has a penis and one doesn't. One has the chromosomes and one doesn't. One was born one way, one was born another, and then undertook a self-conscious effort to imitate the other. So that, we can call it XY, we could call it male, we could call it man, we could call it all those things, but we're still describing the same reality. That's semantics.
What'd you say, Isaac?
Yeah, can Jasmine talk? She's been raising her hand.
Yeah, we'll go finish with Jasmine and we'll go on to the next
guys, we're going to have to go to the next topic, but Jasmine, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm not arguing, and I don't know if other people on the panel are, that a cis woman and a transgender woman are the same. I don't think they're the same. But I think they would both be under the umbrella term of woman, because when a person has the secondary sex characteristics and you see them as a woman, to say that they are the same thing as a man just doesn't make sense. And the culture does matter. I'll even agree with you with race. I know people from so many parts of the world. My boyfriend was just in Africa, and over here, he's considered black. Over there, he's too light, and he's considered, I forgot what he said it is. But I'm Iranian. Some people consider me a person of color and some don't. The culture that you live in also affects the way people perceive you, and that is part of the story.
Great. Do you have any closing? Is there anything to respond to here, Nick, or we can go to the next subject?
Yeah, I just, the idea that what makes a woman is her biology. You know, taking the reproductive faculty from a woman is to take the womanness from her. Well, I mean, what's a woman without the fact that she is a
Chat, what's a
biological
shark?
woman, a mother, has a vagina, uterus, and you know, of course, there are women that are born without those things. But I think everyone would agree that's one of those essential things. Having long hair, not necessarily essential. Wearing a dress, not necessarily essential. We'd all agree that what makes a man and a woman are those things. You can't put them under the umbrella because they dress like them. Just like, you know, same thing with a car. Would we, if you have a red car in the garage, would you say that what makes a car is that it has a coat of red paint and windows, or that it has an engine? You know, it's like the engine is what makes the car the car. It's a horseless carriage. That's what a car is. You take away that essential component, is no longer that thing. You know, you could push rock in the garage, paint it red, put a piece of glass on it, put a radio in it. It wouldn't make it a car because it lacked. You say, well, they're both cars. They're on the umbrella of car. There's cars with engines, and then there's rocks that look like cars. It's like, you know, but they're lacking those essential ingredients, and I think everyone knows that.
Great.
I don't know. I mean, this is a thing where I do agree that you could label trans women, but to call trans women women, no, they're not. I mean, if you want to use the label, fine. But I think the problem is a lot of times is like they're saying trans women are women. No, they're not. They're trans women. They're transformative women. Okay, so no. I practice MMA. I now identify as the I practice MMA. I now identify as the world heavyweight champion of Mars. Ew. Real Rain, I love you, my brother.